All right, technical difficulties. I hope that everyone's attention span lasted long enough for you to stick with us while we figured out the glitch, because that is what we were talking about today on Maximum Storytelling, attention spans and lack thereof.
All-time low right now currently. I think the stats show that it's getting shorter and shorter as we get, further and further along with this whole social media age. And yeah, it's really important to capture your viewers sooner than later. And with attention spans being so short, we're going to talk to you today about how to help get your message across soon and effective.
And it's so crazy because attention spans, there was a study by Microsoft, and this was done a few years ago, that attention spans are only 8 seconds long when people are watching videos. And here we are spending like 20 extra seconds trying to get everything live. So I'm like, please, I hope everyone's attention spans lasted like longer than 8 seconds. But I think there's also some comparison to the 8-second span and goldfish. Like we have a very short attention span, like so bad that it's also what goldfish attention spans are apparently. So that's really short. And then there was also a stat that said, if you do not capture your viewers' attention within the first 30 seconds, 33% of them are not going to watch longer than that. And then if you don't capture their attention within 60 seconds, you're 45% of the people are gone. They're just not even going to bother.
Personally, my attention span is probably 2 to 3 seconds. And so for me to get engaged with a video, it has to be amazing from the get-go. If the audio sucks, if the lighting doesn't look good, if it's blurry, I'm just going to keep scrolling. There's no way that I'm going to stay and be engaged to that video if it doesn't catch my eye or if there's a reason for me to be watching it. Obviously, if you were looking for an answer for something and you're searching on Google and you find a video that's titled "The Answer of Your Question," you're probably going to click on that video. But again, if 5-10 seconds go by and you're like, oh gosh, this guy's just going to drag out for an hour, I'm never going to get the answer that I'm looking for, next. So there's a few different things that you can do to kind of get somebody to stick around a little bit longer. And I know that, a lot of you probably have watched several videos on YouTube, and a lot of people do a really effective method of right off the bat saying a key sentence or editing it in a way to where you pull that like key point out and you lead with it. And then maybe you go back in and do your intro like, hi, I'm Josh Nagel, and today we're going to talk about whatever. But you still have already delivered that little key moment that they know that at some point you're going to talk about that exactly. So whether they see your videos 5 to 6 minutes or whatever it is, within that time you're going to deliver the answer they're looking for. So
and it's so difficult too when you're watching a video and you see somebody say, let me tell you, like, let's just say for a frequently asked questions video, right? Personal injury attorneys want to answer the question, how should you handle a car accident case? I know it's kind of a broad question, but the worst is when you see an attorney's video and it's like, well, since I've been handling car accident cases for the past 30 years, and I have handled thousands and thousands of cases, and I have seen cases from that were very, very terrible to small fender benders. Like, dude, I just want to know what I should do after a car accident. I just want to know how I should handle my case. And like you said, bringing that intro after the fact, after you say, okay, look, number one thing that can hurt your car accident case is to, give a recorded statement to the adjuster. One sentence, then tell us at the very end all about yourself, which still that kind of, we don't even like it when you do talk about yourself, but if you absolutely have to, just to prove the point that you know what you're talking about, don't say it right away. Please don't say it right away.
Yeah, don't clog their brain with information that they're not looking for, because again, they're probably trying to find a specific answer. So if you can deliver that to them quickly, effectively, in 1 or 2 minutes, that's going to be your best bet anyways, of having a short video that literally is getting straight to the point, and you're delivering that content, and that's it. And again, you can have that stuff to where, you have on the screen all your practice areas, your contact info, obviously that's important, but they're looking for something specific. And the sooner you can deliver that in your video, the better. So even if you lead with it and then you have this amazing animated logo or something comes up, it's like, oh wow, this is official. I know that I'm going to get the information I'm looking for. I'm going to, buckle in and sit down and get ready for this one, because now I'm engaged because I know that the content is coming. Not,
Talk to us too about splash images. So if anybody out there doesn't know what a splash image is, if you are on YouTube and you see all of the different videos all lined up, and it's just that one image that's paused, right? It's just it's like a cover photo, right? Until the video starts playing. What do you think splash images should look like, knowing that people's attention spans are so short?
Again, you want to be engaging and understand that somebody's going to see your video and it's a very small little thumbnail as they're scrolling. Like, especially if you're on a phone, it is literally like the size of your fingernail when you're scrolling through. So having a bunch of text on there, phone number, my website, like, do not put that stuff on your splash image. Again, you're trying to engage this viewer quickly because they're scrolling, and you literally you got a second maybe to be able to capture their attention, because that's the first step really, to get them to click on your video. And then once they click on your video, what's going to keep them around to watch, your message? So your splash image should be something that's clear. Again, what's the video about? So you don't want it to default to this video that shows you talking and it's frozen like.
Yes, we're
like,
it's sort of blurry. The person's mouth is open, their eyes are squinty, and sometimes they look like the attorney looks like they were stuck in headlights, like a deer in headlights. No.
Yes.
But that's what YouTube will default your splash image to. Sometimes you have a choice to pick a few other thumbnails that YouTube thinks might look okay, but still the options that they default give you, it really is the attorney frozen in a weird position.
Especially if your video is just consisting of you talking to the camera. You may have a couple different camera angles, but what in that video is it going to suggest that you use for your splash image if there's no other content than you talking? So you can create and design your own custom splash image. And YouTube's kind of picky with like the resolution and stuff that you use. I think like 2 megabytes is the maximum. So don't, design some crazy super high resolution, image. It just needs to be like for web 72 DPI. Really, obviously you want it to be a clear image, but just a photo with very limited text, maybe just one word, or something with a question mark, or putting the question on there, or again answering that question on there, so that way they know before clicking on the video that this is what I'm looking for. I'm in the right place, and then give them that confirmation again when they're watching your video that you're delivering the message that they're looking for.
And secret hack, Canva, which I think even the free version of Canva, if you pay for Canva, you get a few more options for templates, and it's only like $11 a month. Canva has a whole library of YouTube thumbnails / images that you can create yourself. They're plug and play. You just put in the text that you want. All of them look awesome, and they're already set to YouTube standards. Like all the pixels are the right amount. Everything's perfectly, it'll fit perfectly. Hack of the day, Canva.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's tons of stuff out there too, not just for splash images, but you can buy, or there's lots of free versions too of like pre-made video templates that you can put in your video at the end. So it'll like, a cool transition will come up and it'll say subscribe to our channel, and then it'll have like the little Instagram thing will pop up, and then you can put your contact info in there. So you're adding production value automatically by making this like, this cool little transition, outro, intro, whatever you want to do. You can also use title screens and stuff that come up that you show, again, exactly what the video is, what it's about, different.
Movie Maker, right from your phone. Like Movie Maker will allow you to do this very, very easily.
Yeah, for sure. So adding those little things, that's what you want to focus on, instead of saying, we are, at this address, and, you visit us at, yes, like it's important to have a call to action, but having it on the screen is going to be so much more effective for your viewer. They're not going to feel like that they're like being like, ambulance chased through YouTube. They're looking for something specific. And if you can deliver that to them, the chances of them watching another video, again, our attention span is low. So we get our answer and another little thing comes to the top suggesting a new video. Ooh, I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna go to this one, and then I'm gonna go to this one. And so they may just visit, stay in your channel and watch video after video. But again, you got to keep them engaged the whole time.
We have a couple people in the Zoom that are following along with us. We have Nick, and then we also, Bertrand, I don't see him in here, might have been disconnected on his end. Hey, how's it going?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Great, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
So tell us about your own attention span. What gets you past seeing, very boring things right away? Not much, right?
Yeah, my attention span is gotten pretty shitty. I've one of the things that I've done though, in emails is my biggest pain in the ass. I'm a true solo, so I don't have any help other than an answering service that sometimes listens to me, but most of the time doesn't. But I had to take all my notifications from my emails off my phone. That's helped. I still check it periodically. And then if I'm working on something, I used to have my email like right up. I've got 2 screens and I would have it like right up so I'd see it. And then, I got to get to that. Well, now I just either exit out or have it hidden where I can't see it. And then whenever I'm done what I'm doing, then I go back and look and do that. But yeah, it's So
you're probably one of those types of people who definitely need a very engaging video. So did you have any questions about how to make your own videos more captivating, or?
Yeah, that and content creation are kind of my content creation for marketing purposes is probably my biggest thing right now, because I don't really have the time to continuously pump out marketing stuff. And actually I was working on a marketing plan for October earlier today, and I've got a decent bit of stuff from my niche area and I've got like set times to do it, but something might pop up next week and totally torpedo my whole day and my plan.
Sure.
So,
that's always the biggest challenge, is not necessarily finding content to write about or talk about or make videos about, but it's carving out the time to do it. Josh, do you have any suggestions on prioritizing videos or, best practices for pumping out a lot of video in a short amount of time when you're pressed for time?
Absolutely. And I mean, honestly, for you being a solo operator, it's so important for you to have those videos, because you can be, working with several clients all at once while you're doing something else. So these videos can be doing work for you in the background, doing your marketing for you, answering those questions. But yeah, the most important thing is obviously finding time to put those together. But it makes it so much easier if you can sit down for an hour and make 10 to 15 videos. You've got the content already shot. You're going to say and deliver. You have this niche market that you want to talk about. So again, maybe having some FAQ questions that you're answering, and then later on when you're editing, it's going to be a lot easier for you to just separate literally by the question. And then once you have those separated, then you're creating new project files, and then literally you've got all 10 videos right there. You create this intro, copy and paste it at the beginning of all of them, and then you can actually set them up to publish every so often. So like if you're doing it on Facebook, you can, say every Tuesday I want a video to be released. You can do them all at once. But again, it's still finding that time, that hour or two to be able to knock that out. But I think it's just understanding what you want to do first. What's the most important thing for you to get out there? And if you don't have any content, you need to tell people about you, who you are, what you do. That's so important. And that can become your YouTube bio video.
It sounds like you got over the initial hurdle of figuring out what to talk about, because a lot of times that's the biggest challenge, right? So you're already ahead of the game a little bit. So like Josh said, the scheduling thing can save so much time. So you don't have to constantly go back to it every single week or every single day. You just set it and forget it.
Yeah. And I did about 10 videos, and I sat down like you were talking about, but I did it like 2 different times. So I did 5 videos. It took me like an hour, and then I did 5 more. But I like your suggestion of the Q&A or frequency, your FAQs or whatever topic. Do those out in an hour for 10 of them, and then edit and splice all from one video. That'll probably save me some time.
Yeah, because honestly, like you don't want a 10-minute video, that talks about each question for a minute. Again, you want to hit these people with what they're looking for. So as specific as you can be, and then spend that extra time putting in your description of your YouTube video, coming up with a clever title. And obviously you're going to need a splash image for each of these, because you got 10 videos, but again, if you're just talking in them, it's going to default to all these, like, it's just going to show your face. They're all going to look the same. So what's going to set those apart from each other, especially if somebody's just going through your channel and looking, or again, what's going to entice somebody to click on that versus another one that's got this like amazing design, splash image over here. It's like, well, I'll probably click on this.
And you can also use, if you choose to go the route of Canva or any of these other platforms that allow you to create splash images using the templates, just spend a couple extra minutes on creating the template that you like. And then for all the other videos, you can just plug in, a couple different colors or, obviously a different title too. But that could always be your default template. You don't have to recreate the wheel every single week.
And the same thing as what you did with like how you were doing all these videos at the time. If you are searching for stuff for your splash image, we like licensed images on like Adobe Stock or Shutterstock or something. We would download like 40 of them. And then we have this like bin, right? So then when it's time to go looking for these images, we're just searching from this little bin versus the entire internet. So it makes it a lot easier. So when you have something put together, maybe it's just changing like the color of the background and then the wording. So you've got, a new image, new color. But you also want them to all be kind of like branded together. So you've got like this, master playlist that your channel looks like, so much more professional.
Okay. And what was the one, is it Anneke?
Anneke. Yeah, it doesn't sound anything like it looks.
That's okay. My last name doesn't either, so I hear you. Right. You said the images Canva.
It's CANV as in Victor A. Canva.com.
Yeah, I have heard of that. And that would do what for me again?
So Canva is it's a complete design platform that has Facebook images. It helps you create Facebook post images, Instagram posts, YouTube thumbnails, YouTube covers. But the cool thing is all of the templates are already pre-measured and like pre-designed for those platforms. So you don't have to figure out, because you know how sometimes when you go to update like a Facebook cover, for instance, and you don't follow what the pixel recommendations are, and then it's zoomed in really funky, or it's off center, or it just doesn't look right because you're not following what those measurements are. Canva already has all of that pre-done for you. You just plug in your own specific information, like the text that you want, and they have really neat templates, patterns, tons of designs based on topic too.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And Josh, are you in the marketing arena?
Yeah, absolutely. I do a lot of media production, so photography, video, website content.
Okay. What's your web address for your company?
JoshNagelProductions.com.
Okay.
Nagel.
So we started Maximum Storytelling as a weekly podcast just talking about all things video. And there's, Maximum Layer also offers video production help, for any of these firms that want videos done. So we enlisted the best of the best, and Josh and I both live in the same city, but he has created amazing work, and he has this awesome team. So we work together in case any of the Maximum Layer people want video stuff done, and he's great. He's really, really good.
We've been doing legal marketing for about a decade now. So a lot of other stuff comes along with that. So we do a lot of live events, commercial stuff, corporate videos, conferences. And so, but legal marketing has been a huge part of what we've done. So we're just doing this to kind of like share our insight, our experiences, because we've messed up so much.
So many times.
So, if we can, share one of those things so that way other people don't, take the same steps that we did. So
you should see some of our bloopers from a long time ago. They're pretty funny. They're really funny. We'll have to dig those out.
I gotcha.
Well, if there's, I don't think that there's anyone else on Facebook that had any other questions, but I'm so happy that you joined us. You're our first person to join ever.
Oh, great.
For being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks guys. And Josh, I'm gonna look you up on next on my agenda is moving offices. I've grown out of my space and moving somewhere else. So after I get all that situated, I'll probably reach out to you because I'm going to need some help with stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're here to help. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye everyone. See you next week.